In this episode of Loops Effects, I want to show you how I tag tracks in Traktor Pro just to get a better grip on them, just to make a better and faster selection of the tracks I want to play. Blah, 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 blah. Since Traktor doesn't have any smart playlist or intelligent playlist, you have to do your own workaround. You have to twist your brain a little. So, let's do this. Tjena everybody and welcome back to another episode of Loops Effects. My name is BERGWALL, or BERGWALL as it's pronounced in Swedish. And today I want to talk about Traktor Pro and library management and how to build a better library, because you don't have any ability to make smart or intelligent playlists and you only have 4 auto-populated playlists. So you have to revamp and rewire your brain to get a better grip of the tracks that you have in Traktor Pro, because not everybody likes to make playlists by hand and drag and drop tracks back and forth. It's better to take what I did, 4 columns that are not normally used in Traktor, and you can just right click on the column labels and mark the ones that you want to have visible again. And release, label, mix and producer are 4 columns that I don't use. So I renamed release in my head to floor, label to status, mix to flavor, and producer to situation. Release is floor and it's kind of a mood, but the words in the column release are more than mood words. Some of them are more like explaining what kind of floor do I want. For instance, if you take groovy, then it's a groovy track. It makes the people groove with the body and bop with the head and everything like that. So I labeled this track groovy in the column release, and the column is called floor. And label, you see I have marked it new, because that track is released within the 6th month. Mix, or flavor as I call it, marks if the track is in the charts, if it's a stomper, stomper meaning a kind of a floor filler but with a better groove than just a floor filler. Neutral in producer, or situation. A situation is what kind of situation am I in? Is it peak hour, or is it warm up, or a season for Halloween and everything? And I have something called boil. That's if I want to take the peak hour even further. If I feel that the crowd is ready for more than just the peak hour tracks, I want to play the track that makes them go bananas. So how do I work this system? Well, in Traktor you have 4 auto-populated playlists. You have artists, but why do you want to auto-populate artists? Why do you want to sort by artist anyway? I think it's weird. Here are all the tracks that I have labeled groovy in the column release. If you want to have a groovy track, and then you click on label to sort it, and then you say I want to have something groovy but I want to have something old. So you take this one for example. That's a groovy old track. Or if you want to have something that's in the charts right now, something groovy that's in the charts right now, then we have this track, and I think that's the perfect track for an example. Or producer, I want to make them people jump up and down, it's peak hour, then we have this Bend Over with Little John. You can also take a label and choose what new tracks. Let's say Shaky, La Habana. It's a very good Shaky track. Since you have new up there, you can see what kind of situation. We have Peak Hour, Rockstar. That's my remix of Rockstar by Post Malone, released on legendary DMC in the UK. This is how the system works. Just label with the right kind of words. And in the description to this video you can find all the labels that I use for each and every column. You can take whatever column you like, just as long as you are doing the same thing on all tracks, so the system works. Chaos is not good when you want a nice flow and keep the crowd happy. So work the system. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, my name is BERGWALL, and let's go crazy! Thank you for watching this episode. If you have any product, hardware, software that you want me to test and review, or have a request for a tutorial, tips or tricks, please send an email to hello@loopsfx.com. See you next time. Perfect. I want to show you how in this episode of Loops Effects in Traktor Pro. In this episode of, just to get a better grip how I tag tracks. Men vad fan ska det vara så jävla svårt? How I tagged in this episode of tag tracks. How I tagged Traktor Pro. Clear ögat. Next I want to show you how I tag track in this episode.